Hi everyone, Max here. I'm in Chicago today with Gene, Jordan, and Bob. And we are going to read William Carlos Williams' poem, Autumn. Autumn. A stand of people by an open grave underneath the heavy leaves celebrates the cut and fill for the new road where an old man on his knees reaps a basket full of matted grasses for his goats. This poem, I believe, is from 1937. It was first published in Poetry. Where do we begin? What do we make of this poem?
What struck me here is not so much that it's changing scenes or changing pictures. It's that it's the same picture that, and you see what you want to see, or you see what you're alert to. I mean, you've got a guy getting some food for his goats, and you have some other people standing by a grave. These people standing by the grave probably didn't even notice the guy with a basket trying to get some food for his goats. The fact, apparently they're there to celebrate this road being built, or I guess, they don't even alert to the fact they're standing next to a grave. It just seems like it's a picture, sort of a collage kind of, more than separate frames, to me.
There's this jolt between what we would imagine to be the solemn scene of this open grave and then this scene of celebration that's in fact taking place. I don't know, what did people make of this open grave and the celebration taking place next to it? What kind of celebration is this?
Well, I mean, it's, maybe it's people who, have relatives or loved ones at this cemetery or whatever, and they've always had a hard time getting in and out, and now finally they built a road and these people are there and they're happy about it.
Sure, yeah.
And they've kind of ignored the fact that apparently someone's going to be buried here pretty soon. This open grave, someone's going to bring a casket here and put it in this open grave, but they're here for something else, and the guy collecting the food for his goats doesn't care about either one of those things, the road or the grave. He's just worried about getting some stuff for his goats.
Yeah, it seems like things will move on regardless. So there's this open grave that no one is presumably paying attention to, but a road is being built. That's progress, that's forward motion.
Yeah.
And what makes me kind of anxious about the old man is, so he's old, and so if we're talking about new things, then this is in contrast to the new road. This old man, and I for some reason I'm feeling like he's in the way of this road, and that makes me a little bit nervous for him, right? Because will he still be able to reap his matted grasses for his goats once this road's there? What changes is that going to bring? Is the road literally going to be over him? So I'm nervous for that, dude.
And that makes that open grave that much more ominous too, right? Like, it's a little, who, as you said, Bob, who is this grave for? And it seems, we have in this scene of this gentleman who, as you point out, Jordan, doesn't seem to be keeping up with the times, right? Or his way of life seems to be under threat, potentially, by what will soon be a new road going through the pasture or wherever he goes to. He's a rural person, right? He's a farmer or a rancher, or I don't know.
Goat herder.
A goat herder, thank you. I knew there was a specific word. A goat herd.
And it's autumn, so it's the decline.
Of course, yeah.
Could the grave and the cut and fill be the same thing? I don't know what a cut and fill is, but I assume when you start a new road, it's just a trench, right? Like a cut. And then someone might read it as a grave. It could be the same trench. It could be a grave, or it could be the beginning anytime you have a new road, there's a lot of work that goes into it. Everyone's happy, you're doing new infrastructure, the town's probably gone through a lot of zoning, whatever, to kind of get it ready. So some people might look at it, however, people are also unhappy about a road. If you live there and then all of a sudden you get traffic and it's a big pain, you know, it's a grave. It's the end of life as it is for that old man, for the goat herder, but it's also, you know, something a lot of other people are going to celebrate, be happy about.
Yeah, there's a lot of visual symmetry between digging a grave and digging the place the road will be. Like that could look very similar.
Could be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cut and fill is it's a method of moving earth in order to create a place for a road or a railroad. You usually, I just read about this. You usually dig out where the road is going to go, and then you, instead of having, because then you have earth, you have dirt you've dug up. You just use that to build embankments on the side, and so that's what a cut and fill is called. So you cut the earth and you fill it on the sides.
Looks like a graveyard.
Yeah, it sounds like digging a grave.
Yeah, there's definitely, yes, there's absolutely a resonance between the grave and the road. The cutting open the land for something, for some purpose. I also just love that term, cut and fill.
Yeah.
It seems to be so, in addition to being a technical construction term, it seems to be doing a lot in this poem, and I don't yet know how to think about this, but I want to imagine there's this similarity between what the poem is doing and this cut and fill action, and I don't yet know what it is. And maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but I see that a little bit in the way that the lines are presented, where we have these, we have these lines that are kind of cut into, in a way, a stand of people by an open, break, grave underneath the heavy leaves, celebrates, the cut and fill. I don't know. There's something there. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. So this poem reminds me a bit of Williams's Red Wheelbarrow poem, in part because of the form, or just the shape, the way it looks on the page. But I also think that I think that he's very much using a similar form as the Red Wheelbarrow poem intentionally. And the Red Wheelbarrow poem, of course, is so much depends upon a red wheelbarrow glazed with rainwater beside the white chickens. I think that there's a similar development of the image happening here, even though it's very different at the end of the day. We begin with a stand of people by an open grave underneath the heavy leaves. We have the same development of the image line by line. Like we have this, and it's here, and it's under this. A bit like with the red wheelbarrow, where it's, we have the red wheelbarrow, and there's this quality to it, and it's next to this. But I don't really know where else to take that comparison.
Well, I think during the video discussion, the red wheelbarrow, and you guys discussed the wheelbarrow being a little bit more modern and the chickens being rural. You have that same dichotomy here.
Very good, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And you've got what really strikes me now that Jordan said, a stand of people by an open, kind of then have a few lines, and then when it says for the new road, where? It's where does the new road go? It's almost starting over again to me in this similar kind of parallel. So, for the new road, where? An old man on his knees. It's kind of similar to a grave underneath the heavy leaves. It's a somber image. It's natural in its way. And then the third stanza celebrates the cut and fill. You get to reaps a basket full of, they're both positive So there's kind of a parallel, but then you have that last stanza, which is different.
So the Red Wheelbarrow poem, the way that we discuss it, or have discussed it in Modpo, is it creates an image through this process of depending, of hanging one image on another. So much depends upon the red wheelbarrow. You know, we kind of just like add things using this sort of archaic definition of to depend, which is to hang one thing on another. But I don't think that this poem is while it seems to have a similar effect, I don't know that it's quite doing the same sort of depending thing. And I think we've started to triangulate here with what we've been saying, what the exact motion or action of this poem is by talking about these line breaks, this the way that we're expecting certain words or images to come next, and in fact we're getting very different ones, or as you said at the very beginning, Bob, the way that we have a bunch of people and things that don't seem to be paying attention to one another, and that doesn't seem like the same sort of nice depending motion that we get in that red wheelbarrow. That seems to be very different, almost like more distracted or something.